I'm Griff Robodanger, and today we're going to be looking at killers from slasher movies released between 1984 and 1986. And as always, I'm only including slasher movies that I feel... What am I talking about? As always, I'm only including slasher movies that I feel fit the conventional slasher movie template and that I've actually personally seen. And I always have to say this, but there's going to be spoilers because I'm literally going to be giving away the killers from these movies. The surprises will be gone. So if you haven't seen these movies, you've been warned. I'm going to tell you who it is, who done it. That's the whole point of this video, right? All right, Skeletronico, pull up the slashers.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Jason is back.
After taking an axe to the head, Jason Voorhees was declared dead and his body was sent to the morgue. But he wasn't really dead after all, escaping the morgue to continue his body count.
The killing touch. You win, you die.
Diane was once a successful Olympic champion javelin thrower, but was disqualified when it was discovered that she had a sex change and tested positive for too many male hormones. Now, working as a nurse at the Falcon Academy of Athletics, Diane begins killing promising young athletes at the school to stop them from ever following the Olympic dreams she was unable to achieve.
Splatter you. It's the only education you'll ever need.
Daniel was a patient at a New York insane asylum who escaped by murdering one of his doctors. 3 years later, he's assumed the identity Father Jansen, becoming a priest and headmaster at St. Trinian's College, where he begins murdering women he deems to be sinners.
The Mutilator.
Big Ed is an alcoholic hunter who has never forgiven his son for accidentally killing his wife as a child. Years of drunken isolation have turned Big Ed into a depraved madman who lures his now adult son and his son's friends to their old family home for a brutal final hunt.
October Blood.
John is the unknown twin brother of a popular rock singer named Billy Harper. Envious of Billy's success, John frames his brother for a series of grisly murders for which Billy is tried and executed. But years later, John returns, posing as his dead brother to exact revenge on Billy's former friends and take his rightful place in the spotlight.
Silent madness. The screaming never stops.
Howard Johns is a dangerous, psychotic man who is a patient in a mental institution. When a computer error leads to his accidental release, he returns to the scene of his original crimes and begins killing again.
Silent night, deadly night. You've made it through Halloween. Now try and survive Christmas.
At the age of 5, Billy witnessed his parents' murder on Christmas Eve by a hitchhiker in a Santa Claus costume. Now 18, Billy gets a job working at a toy store, but when Christmas arrives and he's asked to be the store's Santa Claus, all his past traumas catch up to him and cause him to snap, sending him on a Christmas Eve murder spree.
The initiation, the ceremony that will never die, as long as new blood is pledged.
Terry has been locked up in a mental hospital since childhood for attempting to murder the man her mother was having an affair with. But when she escapes, she stalks her identical twin sister Kelly, hoping to kill her and take over her perfect life. Edward is the day doorman at a fancy high-rise apartment in New York City. Spurned by his former lover and fellow doorman Vincent, Edward begins killing the women he believes are stealing Vincent's attention.
Deadly
Intruder.
Robert is a serial killer who escapes from a sanitarium and hides out in a small town, where he gets a job and seems to just be a normal guy. But once he meets a girl and becomes obsessed with her, he snaps and begins killing anyone that he perceives to be a threat to his relationship.
Friday the 13th, Part 5, a new beginning. Suddenly, terror has become child's play.
Roy Burns is a paramedic in the Crystal Lake area who is called to pick up the dismembered remains of a murder victim. When the victim turns out to be Roy's son, he snaps. Roy dons a hockey mask to impersonate infamous serial killer Jason Voorhees and begins a killing spree of his own.
The hills still have eyes.
The Reaper is a massive cannibal who lives in the hills of the Nevada desert with his nephew Pluto. They prey on any travelers foolish enough to leave the main road and take a shortcut through the hills.
April Fool's Day. Get ready to party till you drop.
Buffy St. John is the insane twin sister of Muffy St. John, a college student set to inherit an island estate. When Muffy and her friends arrive at the estate for a weekend getaway, Buffy begins murdering them one by one. Except, April Fools, there is no Buffy, it's just Muffy playing a prank on her friends. Nobody's even dead. The whole thing was just a trial run for an interactive murder mystery experience she wanted to start hosting at the estate.
Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives.
Jason Voorhees is dead and buried, but when Tommy Jarvis digs up Jason's body in an attempt to destroy it, a bolt of lightning strikes Jason, reanimating his corpse so he can resume his murderous rampage.
Slaughter High. One day he got mad, then he got even.
Marty was an unpopular high school student who was the victim of a cruel prank that left him traumatized and disfigured. 10 years later, the students responsible for this prank returned to the school for a mysterious class reunion, which was set up by Marty to get his revenge.
Sorority House Massacre, a slash course in absolute terror.
Years ago, Robert murdered his family in their home with his little sister Beth as the sole survivor. He was sent to a mental institution and she has no memory of the event. When Beth unknowingly returns to the place her family was killed, which is now a sorority house, Robert senses her presence and escapes the sanitarium to finish the job and begin killing again. So if you made it through this whole video and the whole time you were wondering, hey, where's Freddy Krueger? Nightmare on Elm Street. That came out in 1984, right? You're correct. So the reason I left Freddy Krueger off of this video is because Nightmare on Elm Street kind of kicked off an entirely new branch of the slasher movie. I felt like it kind of, diverged a lot from the traditional Halloween, Friday the 13th formula, which the movies in this video, in this series, are kind of exploring. And then you kind of kicked off this whole other branch where you had your Freddy Kruegers, you had your Chuckies, you had your Candymans, Candymen. I don't know. The Elm Street movies were so successful, you just had these swarm of movies that kind of took this other direction, and I felt like those movies kind of deserved to be in their own video set because the conventional slashers kept going on, but then you also had all these supernatural type slasher movies, and I felt like they would have been so much kind of jumbled into one video that I'm just going to branch them out. There's going to be 2 different sets of videos going forward with those. I'm going to still continue the normal slasher videos, but I'm also going to have some supernatural slasher featured videos, which of course brings up the case Jason Voorhees in Jason Lives. I mean, he's brought back to life. He's kind of undead. He's sort of supernatural, right? Yeah, but I feel like he kind of got grandfathered in. I've already been featuring Jason Voorhees in his videos. It would have been really weird to feature him in Final Chapter and then not feature him in Jason Lives. So there's going to be another video with the supernatural type slashers coming out in the future at some point. If you want to see all that stuff, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's down probably here, I would imagine. I don't know. So that about wraps this one up. Thanks for watching, and until next time, later, Danger Seekers.